Hi, and welcome to week 3 of Healing from Hidden Abuse. This week we're talking about pages 34 to 55. And in this section of the book, she is talking about where abusers abuse. She talks about the toxic church and what that looks like, toxic family members, toxic workplaces, toxic marriages. Narcissists can be found in any environment. Not that we need to run around looking for narcissists and red flags, but that they can be found in places that we might not think. They thrive in positions of leadership, especially in the church. They like to hide behind spirituality and religion. And so don't be surprised if you see abusers in the church. And I think we're in a season of a few years now of God revealing abusers who have been hiding in the church, and he's not going to put up with it. So be aware. Psychological abusers can be shielded by yes men, yes women who do their dirty work for them, who believe in them, who will cover up for them. On page 39, it talks about when do psychological abusers harm. They like to target people who have something that they don't have. Many times as a survivor, I ask myself, why? What was wrong with me that he came after me? And it's not that there was something wrong with me. It's that I had qualities and traits that he didn't have, that he wanted to suck out of me and destroy. So narcissists pick targets that boost their ego, make them feel good about themselves. And the narcissist makes you feel really good about yourself. They're Prince Charming. They tell you all the things you always wanted to hear. And then once you're hooked, they start to tear down those exact qualities that attracted them to you in the first place. So they like to go after really kind people, and then they'll ridicule you for being too kind. They'll go after people of faith, and then they'll turn your faith against you and try to quote scriptures and use those to control you. So it's like that. They find something in you that's really great that they don't have, and they try to tear it down. It's almost like a challenge for them. Abusers like people who make them look good or feel good. They attach themselves like a leech to people who give them sustenance. We call it sourcing, that they find a source that makes them feel good about themselves, and they will suck that source dry. And then it talks about how do they abuse. They're great actors. They use people as props. Narcissists have an amazing persona that they like to project, like a mask. And they will use the best parts about yourself against you and make it so that you don't like yourself. They make it so that you don't like your forgiveness, your spirituality, your kindness, your body. Anything that you used to love about yourself, they try to tear down. They are great observers. They will study you. They will know exactly what you like and what you don't like and where your weaknesses are, and they'll exploit those things. And they'll turn things back on you. They'll start arguing, and then once you get riled up, they'll sit back and say, well, I'm not going to argue with you about this. Another one of their favorite lines is, you have to forgive and forget. You can't bring that up anymore. Or, a good spouse would never act that way. Why are you acting like that? An abuser will also give incorrect information and sit back and watch you defend yourself. Not defending yourself is really hard to do, but it's something that as survivors and thrivers, we have to learn that you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to defend your actions and your choices. Psychological abusers don't change. They don't change. This is who they are. It's not just because they were having a bad day, or they're using drugs or alcohol, or, maybe one day they're going to be better. They're going to change. This is just who they are. This is who they are. And so you need to set your expectations to be realistic. This is who they are. It's who they want to be. They have no need or desire to change. On page 49, she talks about psychological abusers never take lasting responsibility for their behaviors. It's incredibly fruitless for you to continue to try to get them to see their actions. They already know, and they don't care. They will accuse you of being disrespectful for pointing those things out. She also, on page 51, talks a little bit about the difference between mental health disorders, mental illnesses, versus personality disorders. They're two different things in the diagnostic manual, and she explains all of that if you want to learn more about that. And then I'm trying to think, she kind of wraps up with they don't want to change. They like their lives. The experience that they have manipulating people to get what they want, like they've learned a lot over the years, and they get what they want. They get their needs met, and they don't want to change that. They're perfectly content living life the way they are. And so that is it. For next week, we are reading pages 57 to 62, so just a couple pages for next week.